Yeah. Okay. So for suppose if at the time of workspace creation you forgot to import your standard modules, then how can you import them back? Then here in the home page, if you see, you have an option import subset, right? So by
Yes.
clicking on this, you can import them. I will show you. So first let me close this current project. Yeah, this is one project without standard modules that I have. So this is one which I have without any standard modules and all. Okay. So I'll just go click on home project, dock this project over here. And now here I'll just simply go and say import subset and then go to the place where I have my standard modules. So it is nothing but it is in my C drive. So let me go to my C drive and Tosca projects. Here it is. Tosca commander and then this standard.tsu is the file. So select that and say open. And now if you see here, see this one got one
Yes.
folder. Inside that I got my standard modules.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I'm closing this project. I don't want to save any changes. Okay. Any other questions? Any doubts? Okay, cool. So until yesterday we saw about date functions and all. And yesterday I asked you if I am giving time as 2 p.m. So it usually shows by default as 14. So how can I convert it to 2 p.m.? Simple, as we add one test configuration parameter, we saw right Tosca date format, target date format. In the same way, we have target time format. So this one tells us how can we change this particular time and all. 1 second. I'll show you an example here. Yeah, this is the one. Target time format. HH colon space TT. This is how you have to give it. HH represents the hours that needs to be displayed in the format of 1 to 12. If it is capital H, then it represents the hours which have to be represented in the 0 to 23. So accordingly, as per your wish, you can create that. Okay. Any questions? Any doubts on that? Okay. So we completed almost all date and time expressions. Okay. So now let's move ahead. So now today let us discuss one important topic. This might be a bit complex and sometimes it might be confusing to you. So please listen. Okay, only one topic is what I will discuss. And one more update is we don't have class tomorrow. Let's meet again on Thursday. I have some prioritized work and I am not available tomorrow in the morning. So only for tomorrow morning, there is no class. No class on 5th. Okay. Yeah. And so today what we will learn is let's learn. Yes. Somebody is saying something? Okay. Now let's learn reusable test step blocks and libraries. What are these reusable test step blocks? What are these libraries? Reusable test step blocks. The name itself says you. It promotes the reusability. Why do we need it? Exactly what is the place and what is the role we play? Is sometimes you may see some test steps within the test cases might be repeating again and again. For suppose I ask you, Raghu, please write a test case for shopping cart functionality. So what do Raghu starts with? Logging into the demo web shop, then adding some products to the cart and verify if the number is coming correctly or not, blah blah blah. Right. So what is that the main thing that they have first is logging into the application. Similarly, I asked Bhavya, please go and test the wish list functionality. Even she starts with logging into the application, then adding some products to the wish list and seeing those products whether they are present or not and all. So even here I have the logging in functionality. And the same way I may ask somebody else to do some other thing. Even they will come up with the first step as logging in. Not only logging in, sometimes some test steps might repeat in more than one test case. So why do you need to create the same test step again and again and again? No need. Instead of that, just create one reusable test step block and use this one again and again. Use this as many times as you need it. That is the concept of reusable test step blocks. Usually, how can we create this reusable test step blocks is we will have a library functionality. Inside that library only you can create a reusable test step block. Okay, so I will show you how can we create that. So if you go to your project folder, that is demo web shop, not only demo web shop, let it be any folder. If you right click on it, you can see a L shaped icon here. See, if you mouse over, what does it say? Create test step library. This is the one icon to create a library. Just click on it. See, it will create a library for you. Okay. And now one folder will have only one library. If I go back again to this demo web shop and I right click, see, I cannot see that icon at all because I already created my library. If I want to create another library, then I need to create another folder. Okay. And in this second folder, I can right click and again I can create another library. And now if I right click again I cannot see. If I want to create another one, again create another folder, that is a third folder. And again inside that third folder you can create one library. This means per folder you will have only one library. Okay, and it is always a good thing to maintain one folder for your project. Sometimes it may not be possible because your project might be huge one and all. Then depending upon the functionality, you can segregate your libraries in this folder structure. Okay. And now, if you right click on this library, there is one icon, see? And if you mouse over, you can see its name. Create a reusable test step block. Some people call this as RTB. RTB. Some people call it as reusable block and all. Okay, whatever be it is called as reusable test step block. Okay, just click on this icon. See, you will get that created. And now all you need to do is give some name to this. For suppose, let's say open URL. This is the test step that is repeating in all my test cases. So let me create a reusable test step block for it. Okay. So in this reusable test step block, how can you create your test steps and all? Either you can go, and drag the modules whatever you want and drop it on them, and again give these values and all. This is the same. Or else if you want to add some steps from the standard modules and all, so you can go and click on the search and add test step button, and then you can type the particular standard module name and all whatever you want, and then add those things by double clicking, same as in your test case only. Okay, these are the two ways that I have shown. One is just drag and drop the modules whatever you want. The other way is by clicking on search and add test step, and then you can add it once again. Okay. Just give me one moment. హలో అమ్మ తర్వాత మాట్లాడతా క్లాస్లో ఉన్నా. Yeah. So this is one way to create the reusable test step blocks. Now what I am doing is, let us use this open URL in this reusable test step block, and I am passing different URLs. Okay, so let's say I am passing development URL dev.com something. Okay, I know this is not a valid one, but it's okay. And now how can I use this? So let us take some dummy test cases. Okay, this is one development related test case. Okay, dev1 is my test case name. In the second one, this is the SIT related test case, SIT1. Okay, the next one is UIT related test case. Okay, so I have three different environments and I have three different test cases for them. Okay, so now in all these three different test cases, my first step is to open some URL. So instead of every time adding the open URL, I created a reusable test step block for it. So what can I do? I can, in order to use this, we can directly drag it and drop it in our test case. So see then how it got changed. The icon is also changed now. An arrow mark came and it says open URL reference. Okay, in the same way, drag it and drop it here. Drag it and drop it here. Okay, so now let's talk about test cases. The first one is the development test case. What is the URL that you are trying to open as part of this? Dev.com. Let's move to the SIT. What is the URL that you need to open? SIT.com. So let's change it to SIT.com. And now let's go to UAT. What is the URL that you want to change? UAT.com. So now I got all three URLs here. Am I correct? Are you with me until here?
Yes, Ramya.
Yes.
Yes, Ramesh.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now if you observe, whenever we changed this URL value, right? See, let's go back to our test cases and see. What is there in dev1 test case now? UIT.com. That means whenever we are changing the value in this reusable test step block, it is changing in all the positions. If you change it at one place, it is changing in all the positions, including the reusable test step block. Okay, so how can we overcome this? So in order to overcome this, we started again using another important thing, that is the business parameters we call it.
Ramya,
What are these?
Ramya, can you repeat it once again? I just missed it. What you have
Yeah,
said?
no problem. If you observe here, we created one reusable test step block. Okay, that is to for open the URL. And as part of this reusable test step block, we gave only one step in it, that is open URL. And here we are passing one URL. Let it be dev.com. Okay, and in this dev environment test case, we gave the URL value as dev.com. And now if you go to the sit environment test case, you are changing this value to sit.com, something related to the SIT. For UAT, again you are changing it to UAT. So now what do we expect as a tester? In the dev test case, it should have dev URL. SIT test case, it should have SIT URL. UAT test case should have UAT URL. But if you observe, if you go back now and see what happened, it changed to UAT. This is why, because if you are changing the value that you are passing in one position, either it can be your reference or it can be your actual reusable block, it at any place if you change the value, it is reflecting this change in all the places wherever we have the reusable test step block.
Okay, got it, got it. The last time you changed in the UAT, that's why it changed in the entire.
Yes, see everywhere it changed.
Yes.
Okay,
But
so how
in
can we? Yes.
library open URL, that will be
Yeah,
change.
even here if you change again, for suppose here I am changing it to Ramya, so now everywhere it will be Ramya. See, Ramya, Ramya, Ramya. Now say here you are changing it to Tosca in SIT, so everywhere it will be changed to Tosca. See, Tosca. Even inside the library also it will become Tosca. So change anywhere. Okay, and this change is going to reflect in all the places. Okay.
Okay, Ramya.
So now how
Good.
can we overcome this? In order to overcome this, they came up with a concept called business parameters. So what do we do in this business parameters is actually, one second. So here, think like this is our reusable test step block, test step value. This is the test step value that we need to pass. If we are changing this value, the updated change is reflecting everywhere. So what they did is, this is the business parameter value they call it. Okay, so they always hard code this business parameter value, means take the value of this particular business parameter is what they say here. The syntax is something like this. Okay, let us talk about it later. And whatever value you want to pass it to this business parameter. It could be your dev, it could be your SIT, it could be your UAT. Whatever be it is, change the values and pass it to your business parameter. This container can handle these changes, but this container is not able to handle, so every time hard code it with the business parameter value. I will show you here, only then you may understand. So I'm creating another reusable test step block to show you that. So I will name it as bp underscore open URL. Okay, so that we will know. One second. End. So the same test step is what I am copying from here and pasting it in this. So in this bp underscore, what I do is I will right click on my reusable test step block, and then I can see a P icon. If you mouse over on this P icon, it says create business parameter container. So first let's create a container. And now if you right click on your container, this time I am right clicking on my container. Either, okay, if you right click on your reusable test step block, you cannot see anything. But if you right click on your business parameter container, you can see a blue color icon and the name is create parameter. This is called as business parameter. Okay, this is one of the most important interview question. So just click on this and now name it as anything, whatever you wish for. So let's name it as URL. Okay. And now in order to use this one here, first clear off this particular value here. So I don't have any value. So simply drag this business parameter and drop this in this value place. Automatically you will get the syntax. You need not write anything. All you did is you simply dragged it and dropped it in this place. And now let's
Okay.
use this.
Ramya, hello.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you, but as you said, it will be one of the important interview question. But means what will be the pattern of the question? Means how exactly it will be formed about the business parameter?
What are business parameters? What are reusable test step blocks? How do we create them?
Okay, in that way only.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now simply drag this reusable test step block as earlier whatever we have done and drop it onto the test cases wherever it is required. Okay. So I am dragging it and dropping it on the 3 test cases. Okay. So now if you click on this one, this time see you got an additional icon here. Last time you did not get it. Last time you were able to see your reusable test step block. What are the things that are inside it and all. This time you cannot see anything. All you can see is only the business parameter. Okay. And look at the icon color of this business parameter now. If you don't pass any value, it would be in this sky blue shade. Okay. And now I am passing some value here. Like I will say dev.com. So this is the value that I have passed. So now see it changed it to this dark blue color. So if I click on this dev1 URL, dev1 test case, my URL value is dev.com. Let's go to this SIT. Here you can pass a different value that is sit.com. And here you can pass a different value that is uat.com. And if you go back now and see in your library, we will not pass any value here in the library. Okay, so there is no concept of passing any value in the library, and we cannot run our reusable test step blocks also in the library. It will throw us an error. Because we did not pass any value, and running them in this way is not correct. And now if you go to this dev test case, what is the
What is
URL that,
PL in the URL?
sorry?
What is the PL and URL? It's converted, right? Do you have any specific
That is the
reason?
syntax. I will tell you again. Okay. And in this dev test case, the URL value remains the same, dev.com. In the SIT test case, it is sit.com. In the UIT test case, it is uit.com. So this is nothing but my URL, whatever I want to pass. I can pass different sets of values. Again, I can achieve the reusability also. So this one, what is this PL that we can see in the test case is nothing but this is the syntax in order to use the business parameters. Curly braces PL parameter is what it means. Okay. So PL square braces URL and then close both the braces. Or you can directly write it in this way, or else if you simply drag this and drop it at any place, the syntax automatically comes up. And if you observe, the syntaxes in Tosca always begin with curly braces. We already saw if you want to use a buffer value, capital B, square brace, that particular buffer name, close both the braces. Similarly, if you want to use a business parameter value, curly braces, capital P, capital L, square brace, that particular business parameter name, and close both the braces. So this syntax remains the same. Only thing is you have to remember the characters that comes in position. Yes. Any questions? Any doubts on this?
Ramya,
Yes.
so in the entire case that we created one reusable test case under the library folder and name and and to use it for each test step, we just drag and drop, and then in that test step we actually we actually we input our particular URL for that particular step, each test step.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now you may come up asking
Uh,
me, yes, please go.
Ramya, where can we write the exact test cases actually here? So we have created all the business parameters. Okay, it's fine. So where can I create the exact test cases and how can we use these business parameters
Yeah, let us
in
create
our test
one
cases?
test case and let us see that. Okay, I'll tell you. Yeah. Any other questions? So where are these reusable test steps exactly useful? Whenever we have some test steps coming up again and again, then usually we use the reusable test step blocks. If one test is and one more important thing is these are not meant for a single test step. You can add as many test steps as you want inside a reusable test step block. If you think like one particular functionality is coming up again and again, then you can quickly create a reusable test step block for it. So every time you need not do the same create the same test steps again and again. You can simply drag this and drop it at any place wherever you want. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is let us create a test case. Okay, the same previous test case, whatever we have discussed earlier, that is the validation of new user registration by using the reusable test step blocks, so that we will get some more clear picture on it. Okay, so right click on the demo webshop folder and then say create test case, and the name is also the same is what I'm giving. Validate the new user registration underscore RTB is what I will give. So this RTB is nothing but reusable test step block, this, so that we can understand it. Okay, and then I'm just keeping it into invert, and then we have the folder structure, right? So copy these 4 folders from the template and then paste them inside this test case so they come up here. Okay, so now let's start creating with the reusable test step blocks. Okay, I'm deleting this dummy reusable test. Okay, let them be here. I will delete them. Okay, so let us create them again fresh. So I will delete all these stupid things. Yes. So now the first step is to open the demo web shop. See, while creating reusable test step blocks also, you have different ways. One way is you can simply create this reusable test step block and add the test steps inside it. What is the other way around? Let me copy this and show you. So the other way is if you have some test steps here, you can simply drag the test step and drop it in the library. It will create a reusable test step block for you. Even that is fine. So now what will happen if I drag and drop multiple test steps together? I have 2 test steps here. So if I drag and drop this into the library, will it create one reusable test step block or will it create multiple reusable test step blocks?
Multiple.
Let's see it. Simply drag these 2 and drop them in the library. It created multiple. Okay, but here is there any need to create multiple reusable test step blocks? No need. These 2 together form the registration, right? So you can just cut this test step over there and paste it here, and you can use a single reusable test step block. So it depends on you. Most of the time, we usually don't drag and drop the test steps. We usually create the reusable test step blocks and drag and drop these into the test cases. Okay, so but this is also the way that is possible to do. So I just want to show you this one. Okay.
Any drawback?
No, this is what, if you are dragging and dropping multiple, it will create one test step into one reusable test step block. Sometimes, most of the times, it won't be the same case in real time. Most of the times, the main advantage that we get from this is we can club these multiple test steps which are related to single functionality into one reusable test step block. So we have all of them in one place only. That's it. Okay. So now let's create one reusable test step block and name it as Open Demo Web Shop. The first step, whatever we are doing. Okay. So as part of this, what is the one that I need to do? I need to have the open URL. So just add this and say open URL. So this is the test step that I have. And here the URL value that I need to pass should be a business parameter. So right click, create this business parameter container, and then right click on your container and create a parameter and name it as URL. And this URL is what you need to just click on this test step here so you can see your test step details, and simply drag this URL and drop it into this value field. So you will see the syntax. Now if I click on this, it would be something like this. This is my business parameter and this is what I have dragged it and dropped it here. Okay, this is the first step. What is the next thing that I have? Clicking on register, entering the details. Those two steps together I can call it as user registration. So right click, create one reusable test step block and say it as user registration. In this user registration, simply I can sometimes if you have the test steps already created, you can simply copy them and paste it over there. So copy this user registration and paste it over here. Now the question comes, when do we need to hard code the values here? When should we use the business parameters? When should we use the business parameters? And when can we hard code? If you know that some step, some value is a hard, like this is the only thing I will do, there is no other possibility that I have, this is the only thing that I need to do, this is must and should, okay, then hard code it, because there is no probability that it will change. Clicking on register, can you do you have any other alternate way to click on register?
No, Ramya.
No, right? You should definitely click on register in order to go to the user registration. This is fixed here. So that is the reason, just pass the hard coded value for here. And now let us go and take the new user registration values. So this is the module for it. Simply drag it and drop it here. Okay. And now for these values, should we hard code it or should we pass, because or should we create them by using the business parameters?
We should create by using business parameters. This cannot be hard coded.
Yes, definitely, because we don't know, right, whether this would be the same. Every time we may change. Sometimes we will go for the male, sometimes we will go for the female, sometimes we will pass different first names, different last names and all, we don't know. But how about this last register one? We can hard code it, because for sure, let it be anything, still you need to click on the register button.
Yes.
Okay, so now before we see how can we create business parameters and all, see if you observe, you do we have any drop down sort of a thing here? No. Why? Because we did not have any one action mode given. Always remember, whenever we have the action mode, only then that particular value comes up here. Okay, for suppose I am taking an input action mode for password. So now see, I got a drop down. And now see here, only password came up because this one is the one only having one action mode. You can delete the action mode by clicking on the delete button on the keyboard. Okay. And now, until now, we saw that we can create business parameters and we can drag and drop them so that they will be mapped over here. But what if you want to create some 10 to 20 business parameters? It is hard for you to drag and drop each one, right? It will be very difficult for us. So how can we overcome this? The shortcut which we use in real time in order to overcome this is, first, we will select all the parameters whatever are required. So select all this until confirm password. Okay. Now right click on them and here you can set an action mode. What would be the action mode for all these? Obviously input, because all this you need to input some values. So select it as input. Now you got the action mode populated for all this. And these elements started listing out over here. If you have any password data type, change them to string so that you can clearly see what is happening and all. Okay. And after doing these two things, one is we selected all the attributes that we have, all the test step values, and then set their action mode to input. Second thing is if there are any password data types, we changed them to string data type. So now what you need to do is simply select all your elements here in this left side screen. Okay. And drag this and drop them on the business parameter container. Now click on your test reusable test block and see business parameters are created. At the same time, they are automatically mapped. I did it in 3 test steps. One is, first I have set my action mode to input. Second, I have checked my data type. I want our data type to be string for instead of password. And then simply I selected my ones in the left side menu, dragged them and dropped them over there. After entering the email field, what is that you have to do? You have to buffer it into a buffer called email. So simply give that test step also here. So this with this we completed our registration, and this one is the hard coded value. So pass the value as hard coded way. So click it is. Isn't this easy? Yes, no. Did you understand what did I do?
Yes, Ramya.
Okay, cool. So we completed this user registration reusable test block also. What is the next thing that we need to do? We need to verify our success message and then log out and then close the browser. Okay, cool. So let's create them. Another reusable test step block in order to verify the success.
Ramya,
Yes. Please tell me.
each and every test system, each and every test step we need to create reusable. So how do you identify which one we need to go for reusable, which one is not?
If something is repeating again and again, then usually we go for reusability tested blocks. And again, how do you segregate it? It depends on you. You can create this entire user registration, successful user registration into single reusable tested block only. But again, sometimes when I say user registration, sometimes I may need to validate the error messages that come up in the user registration screen. So then again that reusable test step block won't be useful if I combine these two. So it is your thought process and your way of thinking. How do you segregate the things? Okay.
Okay.
If there is any channel that there is another way around, then stop it over there. That is what I usually do. Okay. So for
Ramya, can you repeat once again? You are saying something about the screen error, right? Can you repeat once again?
yeah,
I didn't.
no, I'm saying if you want, you can combine these three test steps.
Okay.
Creating this, clicking on register and also verifying also, you can use it here only.
Mhm.
But sometimes you may need to validate the error messages.
Mhm.
So there is another chance that can come up after this test step, right? So
Mhm.
sometimes it would be success one, sometimes it would be error. So what I thought is, that is the reason I just want to separate it instead of
Correct. Okay.
using it in the same reusable test block.
Okay.
Yeah. For this one, yeah. So I will just simply copy this test step from here and paste it here. I did not copy it. Copy finished. Paste finished. Oh, yeah, so this is the one. Okay, this is also done. The last one is clicking on logout and closing the browser. It depends on you. If you want to combine those two, just combine both of them. Log out from demo web shop and close the browser. If you want them to be separate, you can just keep them separate. Log out from demo web shop. Okay, and for now I'm just keeping it separately. It depends on you. There is no nothing rule that you have to do it together only. So right click and then create another reusable test block to close the browser, or else let's say close demo web shop and simply copy this. So I created all the reusable blocks that are needed. So now simply I need to place them in the correct positions. So my first step is to open the demo web shop. So drag it and drop it in the precondition. Next step is to user registration. Drag it and drop it in the workflow. Third step is to verify the successful user registration. Drag it and drop it in the verification. Fourth step is to log out as well as the close the browser. So select both of them and you can simply drag them together and drop them in the post condition. Or else you can drag them and now you need to just adjust this. First you should have the logout and next you should have the close. Or else you can drag them and drop them individually also. Okay. And now just pass these values. So I just clicked on this test case and for open demo web shop, it is asking me for the URL. So what I do is I will open demo web shop. So this is the URL. Copy this and paste it here in the value. So my URL is given. Coming to the workflow. Which one? Should I click on male or female? If you don't want to pass any value, don't enter any value for that business parameter. Enter value only for the ones that you want. I want to click on female. So I'm just passing the value as curly braces CLICK for female only, not for the male. And my first name is Oreo. My last name is Ramya. My email ID. Some email ID Oreo dot Ramya dot date time, close the curly braces, at the rate gmail.com. And what is the password? Test at 123. Confirm password test at 123. And now, should we pass anything here? No need. There are no reuse business parameters. And here also there is nothing that you need to pass. So simply run this test case. Before running, I am closing my browser and I need to ensure that I am actually running it in the Chrome browser. So Go to this test configuration. Do we have anything here? No, not there. So now right click and create one test configuration parameter called as browser, and the value for this is Chrome. And now one more thing. For suppose I want all my test cases, whatever I am developing under this folder should run in the browser Chrome. Then instead of adding this test configuration parameter again and again, just copy it here. You cannot see this copy finished and all. Simply say Control C and go to this demo web shop folder, do a Control V. So now next time whenever you are creating a new test case, automatically this browser Chrome will come up. See? Okay. If you want to change,
Ramya,
you can change the value also.
Ramya, do you want me to run in IE in parallel? It will also execute.
Yes, yes. You can pass it as Internet Explorer.
Yeah, parallelly also. If suppose I give both Chrome and Internet Explorer.
No, no, you cannot run in parallel in two browsers. I will
Okay.
tell you how can you change the browser value during middle of the test case. Okay, I will take this topic in the later class. So now let us run this test case. Demo web shop, it clicked on register, it started filling the details, register, log out, and then close the browser. We are done successfully. See, and we also got the email ID details into this buffer. So I'll keep this as completed. Yes, tell me any questions, any doubts that you have on this.
As
I
of
got,
now, no, Ramya, once we do practice, we will.
yeah, one question that I got from my side is, can we run a library? Okay, and see, for suppose if you don't have any business parameters and all given up, yeah, you can run a library. You can right click and run it in the, you can run this reusable test step block. Okay, if you, no, you cannot run a library directly. Even if you want, you can run this reusable test step blocks. If there are no business parameters given, you can run it. So what will happen if you have business parameters is it will throw you an error. See here, I have business parameters, and if I try to run it, it will throw me an error. Okay, hold on, not this one. This one starts with actually demo web shop. I'll run this one, open demo web shop, because this has also the business parameters. See, no suitable value found for the command peer. There is no value that you have passed. So this is the error it will throw you. Okay. And if you are running something, for suppose, so now I'm running some reusable test step block which doesn't have any business parameters in it. So then it works fine. So see, for clicking on logout, we don't have any business parameters. So it will go click on logout. It will work fine because there are no business parameters. If you have business parameters, only then you should pass the values. Here we already hard coded our values, so it can simply go and run. Okay. Any other questions? No?
No, Ramesh.
For user registration, why you have said like it will go to the demo web shop
Okay,
and
hold on.
then it
I
will.
will show you that also. No, for user registration, actually, what is your first step? We hard coded it to go and click on the register button. At that time, my registration page, this demo web shop is not open, right? So that is
Okay.
the reason I did not run that. But now I can run it. It will run the first test step, then it will fail. See, the second test step, it will fail.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
For me, I can see the automated test case recording that is in the.
This one you are talking about?
Yes, yes.
Actually, we don't use it at all. If you are aware of Selenium and all, some in some places, like we usually record things and then we ask the tool to repeat the same thing, whatever it has seen in the recording.
Okay.
For that, actually, these things are useful. Okay. So if you don't have any questions and any doubts, let's close this session. And a reminder once again, we don't have class tomorrow. Let's meet on Thursday again. Okay.
Okay. Then.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank you all. Thanks
Ramesh.
for joining. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Ramesh. Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye, Ramesh.